Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my math channel. Today is November 7th, and we're looking at another word problem. And remember that this is Module 3, Lesson 7, so we're doing word problems. So let's look at this word problem. It says Jim sold three-fourths three-fourth gallon of lemonade. So this is one part of the lemonade. Duane sold some lemonade too. So Duane sold some more. So that means that's two parts. Together they sold this much. So this is your total. So make sure you know that this is your total. I'm gonna write total. Okay. Who sold more lemonade? So we have two questions. Who sold more lemonade? Jim or Dwayne? How much more? So here's a question based on this template. Copy question to answer and problem number. So the problem number is I don't have one, but this should be, let's call it problem number 2. And this is part 2 of the lesson 7. Who sold more lemonade? So we have to answer the question, Jim or Dwayne? How much more? Okay, so the first thing we do is, if we can see that we have 3 parts, 1, 2, actually 2 parts, and the total is this. Now, one thing I want you to notice is the total is definitely a 2-part thing because it has a 1 whole and 5 fifths. Okay, so I'm going to first show the 1 whole, and the 1 whole is probably going to be 12 twelfths because it says right here 12 parts. So we're gonna make those 12 parts. Let's see, let's use this right here. So 12 parts. So we divide this in half and then in thirds, so that way we can divide the thirds into 2 parts each third, and do the same thing on the opposite side. So that will give us 12 parts. Okay. All right, let's continue. And so this is going to represent the 1 whole. Okay, why? Let me tell you why. So again, the fraction dictates how many parts the whole is going to be divided into. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to group this so I can do this better. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to select all of this, and then I'm going to group it so it's easier to manipulate. So now I need to create one more. Okay, why do I need to create one more? Because we have to show that this one on the bottom, let me get my highlighter here. This is the 1 whole, so we have to color the 1 whole. Let me choose green right here. Okay, I have a new tablet, so it's a little hard to color, but that's the 1 whole. And it says that there's also 5/12, so we have to color 5/12. So it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5/12. Okay. Okay, there you have it. All right, now let's label everything. So when we label everything, it's easier to get the answers. So this is the 1 whole, and the 1 whole equals, again, 12 parts. 12 out of 12, which equals 1. And this right here is 5/12. Okay, and remember, this number right here, the 12, is the reason why we made the 1 into 12/12. And that's going to make it easier to solve our problem. Okay, so now the first thing we do is we need to add this to make it an improper fraction so we can start solving the problem. So that's the total. So 12 twelfths, okay, plus 5/12 equals 17/12. Okay, so now that is the total. And we need to know um, who sold the most. And we have another piece of information. Let me just get a different color here. Let's go back to read the problem. The only other thing we know is that Jim sold 3/4. Okay, so Jim sold 3/4. Whatever is left is what Dwayne sold. So now our next step is going to be to find out how much Jim. This is going to be Jim. So he sold 3/4. Okay. To be able to manipulate these numbers, to subtract the 3/4 from 17/12, we have to make this one a fraction with the same denominator of 12. Okay, so now we need to multiply the fraction times a number that will result in a 12 as a denominator. And you all know that 4 times 3 equals 12. So what we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator. 3 times 3 equals 9, so that's 9/12. Okay, that's how much Jim sold. Let's find out how much Duane sold. So now we get the total. We need to get a different color. So we grab 17/12, which is the total, minus 9/12. That is the amount of lemonade that Jim sold. And the remainder from 17 and 9 equals 8. And the denominator is the same. Okay? So now we know that this is how much Duane sold. Duane, let me write this down, sold this much. Okay, now let's just simplify for the sake of. Oh, wait, no, let's just write the answer. So the answer is we already know who sold the most. If we compare it, okay, Jim sold 9/12, and Duane sold 8/12. Okay, and you know what I'm noticing? We have to simplify those two fractions. So to simplify it, we're gonna simplify. It's gonna be 9/12. We're going to divide those two numbers. Those two numbers are multiples of 3. So we can both be divided by 3. So let's see if this is, maybe that's not a good idea. We'll do that at the end. Because if we do that, it's going to give us a 3/4. And we divide this also because these two can be divided by 2. So if we do it by 2, it's going to be 4/6. Oh, but 4/6 can still be divided by another 2. So that's going to be divided by 2. And the answer is 4 divided by 2 equals 1. And 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Okay, so this might be helpful, but we cannot subtract this from each other. So it's easier to use these fractions to see the difference and to see who sold the most. So we know that Jim sold them. Okay, so we can say that Jim sold 9/12 and Duane sold 8/12. So Jim, I'm going to answer the question. Jim sold more. And the second question is, let's see if we answer the question. Who sold more? Jim. How much more? Well, if we compare 9/12 minus 8/12, so Jim sold 1/12 more than Duane. So we can say Jim sold 1/12 more than Duane. Okay, my friends, watch the video again if you need help. Reason the problems. It's easy. It's called reading comprehension. Signing out your coach from the best math channel you have ever seen in your life. Your coach, Mr. Mag.